Happy New Year still.
Yes, I think you can say that definitely all through January for me.
At least. Welcome back, viewers. Have you missed us?
Missed you.
Oh, we missed you. We really did. And what we're finding in some of our conversations across the country, because I'm in Chicago and Summer's in Dallas,
Mhm.
is that, we as much as we are looking forward to a 2021 that has all sorts of change, that we're kind of back to whatever normal is, realizing it's different. We also really are starting to feel the weight of what it means to come through 2020 and that feeling inside. Summer, we talked a little bit and we're gonna launch on this because there have been a number of moments that you just happen to see on TV and things that people are doing to recognize not only those who we've lost to COVID and the impacted families who we don't even know, we haven't had a chance to even see those people, let alone how do you express. And then we're just going to talk a little bit more about what it is that we're doing and be here for you.
Yeah, yeah. Today's episode, it's heavy because it's a heavy subject matter. And like Cynthia was just saying, we realize and recognize and actually take solace in the fact that we're not alone in this. You can definitely relate in terms of the weight of everything. And I know a lot of us rung in 21, however low key status it was, with optimism and hope, and we should still have that. But we also know there are a lot of large hurdles in front of us that would not magically diminish and go away just because the clock struck 12 on January 1st, 2021.
Yeah.
COVID, like you were saying, is something that we have to really, as a nation, together come to terms with. Obviously, today is the official day one of a new administration, and we are hopeful that the adults in the room can get back to science and just common sense and merging all of that and good leadership to get us behind this. But, even before Inauguration Day, Cynthia and I were talking about Tuesday and just what that meant. Yeah, what did that mean?
I mean, it was no question a very powerful, well produced memorial. The first memorial service that we as a country have been able to participate in, that the world has been able to participate in with us
Mhm.
since this whole thing happened. And it was moving and sincere. Um, and I guess my general thought is, my brain isn't necessarily scheduled to grieve when I see this on TV.
Sure.
I am moved. I now have an indelible impression that will stay with me for a long, long time. But I think what I'm realizing is I have friends who are on the front lines of healthcare. I have friends whose kids are. I have people I know who either have um, tested positive and had symptoms, and what that might mean for their future, we don't know. I have a family member who passed away back in April, an uncle. When will we get to reconnect with these people? When will we even find out? There are not everybody shares all their information on Facebook. So you really don't know how everybody's doing.
Right.
All I can say is that the closer you can get to touching base with people and to recognizing the pain that so many people are in, the closer you are to being able to validate that grief, that mourning, and begin your own healing so that you can help others heal.
Absolutely. And I'm sharing with Cynthia for the first time, as well as you guys, the audience, and it did come close to home now. I actually have an aunt, my father's sister, who is in the hospital now with COVID. And she's not on a ventilator. She's been there almost 2 weeks now. And I was grateful for the fact that when her daughter, my cousin, called the ambulance, number one, and this is in Los Angeles, which is epic center right now. When they called the ambulance, They had already determined that she was okay to come, because that's another stipulation, is resources are so scarce. If they feel that they can't really help you, they're not going to take you in. And so she was able to get admitted into the hospital, and for that, family is forever grateful. But it's hard because, when you're in that situation and in that predicament in terms of having COVID and the isolation, it's not like any other illness where you can go in as a family and be there, sleep in the room, talk to the nurses and the doctors, and any given, you're at the mercy of when they find time
Yep.
to deal with not only your loved one, my loved one, but everyone else's loved one, and manage to squeeze in those minutes to inform my cousin, who then funnels the information to us. And so it's been a trying week and a half, and very hopeful. And of course, prayers, if you send them my way and my family's way, are greatly appreciated. But even prior to this hitting so close to home, took it seriously, right? And I said prayers for people I had no clue, but just for us to just get closer and closer and putting this behind us. It's hard. It's so hard. It's so devastating. And it just seems like there's no end in sight, right?
Yeah. The I think everybody understands that where we are as individuals, we're all at a different place. But it's going to get harder emotionally because we're going to really understand what the toll has been on every aspect of our society. And the other hard part, I think, that people would love to be able to follow the just the command of unity, that we all need to get behind this together. When we as a country finally recognize that the one and only mortal enemy in this is a virus, we can begin understanding that the only way to conquer that is through unity. Now that might sound really obvious, but whenever you need to present this united front and people are squabbling on the backside, no, it's never going to happen. And
Right.
so the idea that our healthcare workers don't get the support from the larger community because
Right.
people are still questioning masks, people are deciding whether or not a vaccine is safe,
Right.
the parties that happen, and the restaurateurs who just simply want all the numbers to go down so that they can open their doors again.
Right.
We are so close to that. If we can just recognize that continued good behavior, good practices gets us to those goals, then unity does become the answer.
Yeah, it does. And again, we don't want to minimize the mental anguish that this has been on all of us. So much, and it's a lot of things. It's not just COVID, it's the past administration, it's the way of the world, it's our own individual trials and tribulations that are going on in our lives. And it all just seems to compound and just hit. And then when it rains, it pours. And where's the damn sun, right?
Right.
It's what it feels like. And so, even for us, as creators of the show, Cynthia and I had to take a beat, a pause for a minute,
Yeah.
and just be in our feels, and just stop. And I mentioned that because if you are afforded an opportunity to just stop and be still and allow yourself to go through it, it is a sense of grieving.
It
What it
is.
may not be a tangible loss, but we have been grieving for almost a year now, especially with this COVID phenomenon.
Mhm.
Um, but to allow yourself to just be still.
Lastly, and I think I might be closing us out on this. So uh, two thoughts. Number one is grieving does not necessarily mean that you finally break down and cry and that you have the luxury to do that all by yourself over a glass of wine at night, where you're not bothering anybody.
Right.
It might happen when you literally are at a store or you're driving and you hear a song or you get news about somebody. And so just really be mindful of the fact that by taking it a little bit more slowly, you have a better chance to react and to prepare yourself for reaction. And the other thing is, I was watching channel surfing a little bit, and on came kind of a PSA, public service announcement, sponsored by a football team.
Hmm.
about destigmatizing mental health services. And I understood it. It was these big burly football players saying it's okay if you need somebody to talk to, there are people to talk to, and you should just do it. And then they started playing REM's Everybody Hurts. Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, if you need a grief enema and it has to happen, then you just go find your dark music, and I'm pretty sure you'll get some tears out of the deal. It was very powerful. I salute the people who are behind that. Just do a little Google searching of PSA Everybody Hurts, and it's powerful. Right now we have some incredibly artistic, compassionate, empathetic people creating media for us to help us through this. And I will be forever grateful. They go right up there with the mental health professionals and the frontline medical workers and all of the essential workers who are helping us get through this, the artists.
Yes. And I just want to close out with one message. Aunt Chrissy, I love you. We love you. You will see this episode. And I am sending a special shout out to all of those who are fighting a good fight right now, and a special prayer and thoughts for those who have lost their lives and the family that are here to mourn them. We grieve with you. May the memories that you shared with them outlast everything. And again, our healthcare professionals from top to bottom, we thank you, first responders, all of you, everybody on the front line. I don't think we can thank you enough,
We
from the
can't.
grocers to the mail people, everyone who's out there making contact with the public. We thank you for your bravery and for your service.
They helped us get this far. Now it's up to us to get us to the finish line.
Absolutely.
If you've got some thoughts, you want to add a prayer, you want to add somebody that we should keep in our thoughts, send us
Yes.
a note. We're here for you.
Subscribe, send us an email, and we will get through this together, right?
We
So,
will. Yes. And as always, peace.
peace.